We had a leadership deficiency, and I lost the election so woefully. I lost not because I couldn't win an election, but because the Nigerian political system will not allow certain kind of people. Politics in Nigeria is a course to be studied. So I lost very gallantly, and my opposition did not fail to recognize that I was good material. So I took that as a compliment, and after that election, people kept saying, this one, she has all the qualities, but we cannot give her a chance. And I told them, thank you for the compliments. So I have tried over the few years I have lived on earth to see how we can change society significantly, be it at the executive, be it at the legislative, be it at the judiciary. And I felt politics could cut it. I didn't get a chance. But like an epiphany, you get to realize that the easiest way to change society is by raising the kind of men and women that you want. The kind of men, and we need a society that will function in Nigeria void of political, or where people are institutions by themselves and they are creating change and earning that respect. So those are the kind of children that we must wake up and begin to raise. In my journey working with children, first and foremost, my friends will corner me and say, you're so confident when you talk about this thing, but some children go just scatter. No matter what you do, they will spoil. They know they hear what. There's nothing I didn't hear. And immediately that time I said, why are you so bothered about the fact that these children will get spoiled? Why don't you just do the work first? But you see, over the years, I have grown an audacity. And this is how my audacity is. I have no business having useless children. I don't know about you. My children will not be useless. Say it after me, my children will not be useless. Yes. They will not. You should say it and own it with you. You have no business parenting irresponsible, valueless individuals. You have no business. When the other speaker has gone, I think it every day. I have no business bailing any child from cell. I call my daughters, there are 4 of them, I call them the tribe of first ladies. I'm not saying first ladies in terms of the wife of governors. I mean first ladies in terms of being at the apex of their profession, their character, their charisma. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? They are a tribe of, that is the Christian, the name I have Christian them. They will succumb to it. And I will do my own work. Just like my son. And so in our community, we should be a community of conscious people, raising the next generation very intentionally. And why I'm taking my time to give you this intro is that Mr. Femi said something. He said that people don't do well in business because they say I'm married, family, this. Let me tell you, from the first day I had my first child, I was an on-air personality, a broadcast journalist, and when I decided to start having children, I noticed that a woman loses her TV face. I was a size 8 at the time. With pregnancy, I started expanding. So the younger, yes, immediately when I started broadcast journalism, I went back to school. So I moved significantly into the academia. So through my pregnancy, I was going to school, developing myself in other areas. I'm going somewhere with this story, right? And having done that, I was trying to earn a credential to make a living and sustain my business. I went into agriculture, went into politics, went into other things. Do you understand? Because the children that I was having will need a means of livelihood as well. Because I don't believe that it is a 50-50 thing. I believe it's a 100-100 thing. What if the father disappears? Or what if me as the mother I disappear? Does it mean children should suffer? The bills will be met. The children did not beg me to come into the world. Are we together? Yeah. And so I began to understand certain things, that no matter the legacy that I build, last month, a very influential man came to my house and he was talking to me. One of the things he said that caught my attention is that he wants to sell his property off, everything, and settle his children. I said, why? He said, because if he dies, they will fight for his properties. He doesn't want... And my heart broke in tatters. I said, you left such a fantastic legacy, but the legacy of responsible children you did not leave. Because how in your 80s, you're thinking, I'm calling lawyer to sell property, because you know that your children are not responsible enough to conduct yourself after your death. You're already carrying the stress that you didn't discuss with any of your children. As big as you are, you came to my own house. I'm not related to you by blood. There are a lot of big men suffering this, that their names will be dragged in the mud by their children. Your children will not drag your name in the mud. But you see, you have to put in the work of raising that kind of material. Children are not plucked on trees. Children are not animals. Children are human beings just like you. So there is the rudiments of how you are supposed to raise children and take certain things into consideration. Yesterday we spoke, but today I want to give us a very easy model on how you can, design, like a model is a standardized unit through every circle. This is a standard, and it is these models that will give you a holistic human being, significantly so. Now, when two adults come together, they want to have children. I just want to encourage you. Some people may end up, it's not like a prophecy or a cause. Some people may be single mothers, single fathers. Barack Obama was the son of a single mother. Betty Shabazz was a single mother. Coretta Scott was a single mother after the death of Martin Luther King. So, the postulation that it must be two of you may not go through till the end. So whether you're an entity of by yourself, you should do the job of a parent's swing, whether it's masculine or feminine, and cover the gaps. Are we together? Most importantly, you're an individual. Now, we had already established the fact that Mr. Femi has taught us at 0 to 9 years at the formative years. That within that circle, in the 0 to 9 years, there's a very fundamental part, which is the theta stage, where the brainwave is at the theta stage. 0 to 7, 0 to 6, the stage of imagination. The stage where these children will sit down, that is the time to teach them everything. But the error most parents make is that most parents think that, my baby is so cute, this became fat too, she's so fine, pink ribbon. That is the stage to feed your child with, feed their imagination and their subconscious by way of the music you play, by way of the environment you're creating, by way of the communication, by way of it is not time to take them to classroom at 2 years old to sit down and write A for apple, B for ball. I said it the last time, kindergarten, kids in the garden, put them in the garden. That is the time it will shock you when you begin to induce critical thinking and problem solving. Now, let's go to the model. If I follow this pattern like this. Now, let's say, for example, you have a child. Let's say the child's name is, let me use Alpha. That's a nice name as well. Let's say you have a child called Alpha. You give birth to Alpha, and you want to raise Alpha into a valuable human being. What you want to do is energy channeling. Every child is born with energy. That's why you see children. Some children, you see my daughters, the ones that are 7 and 9, they've stood up and they've gone to the toilet 25 times. I'm not shouting on them because that's the stage. But the ones that are 11 and 12, they know better. Right? But as long as they are 7, I don't expect too much, and I'm not going to shout. That their attention span is not like the adults' own. So I can allow that. That's why they are behind. They will soon go and eat bread somewhere behind and come back. And I can understand that because I know that that is the stage, right? So for energy channeling, if for the sake of this event I was supposed to channel their energy, I will not give them a story because they are seeing people, they are excited, and all those kind of things. It will be a little game or a play area I will create somewhere in one of the rooms for them, right? Because they are the smaller children. So now what you do is called energy channeling. Now for energy channeling, one of the errors that parents, because I said that you people will move up and down, you want to show yourself. You are moving, move, good. So one of the things that happens during energy channeling is that a lot of parents tell their children, you talk too much. You are so talkative. Talking is a money spinning machine. When you have a child who is talkative in nature, it's not time to shout on that. Shh. That's what happens in most schools. I'm not trying to fight a school. When the child spends 4 years, 5 years from age 5 to 7, 8 in the class, when you want to talk, shh, write names of noisemaker. Allow the child to talk. But what you do is channel the energy appropriately that it will become advantageous to the child in the future. Now, a talkative child, if you are to channel the energy of a talkative child, what do? Tell the child to do a debate. The child may say stupid things. Tell the child to give a speech. Do you want to become president of Nigeria? Yes, president! So now, when you're the president, what will you do? Now, Bobo, if you give this speech very well, I'm going to take you out. You take me out? Good. Bobo, see pen and paper. Try to write everything. Say, 6 p.m. we'll come back. You tell me why you want to be the president. Bobo will come. I want to become president. No, Bobo, who is a president? What you are doing is not only channeling the energy, but you're helping him in the area of research. Bobo will know what it means to be a president. Bobo will know what he has. You're opening a conversation that is helping that child. Are we together? So instead of him talking the one that he sees the neighbor, my daddy beat my mommy yesterday. My mommy went to the... What you are doing is helping the child. You are building... You know, you can start, this one will fit in public speaking, because this speaking, they talk where, right? This child, I can shape this child for public speaking. And, you know, sometimes they may outgrow it, but what you have done is channel the child's energy appropriately in a direction that is productive. If that child is below the age of 10, that's what you can do. But from age 10, 11, 12, where they are now in secondary school and they have clubs, and you can understand this one, you're a natural, true, you've not outgrown it. This child can now, you know, it's a constructive venture where you say, begin to hone this skill. This is much more than, you know, an idiosyncrasy. So now, for example, if let's say Alpha is a child, right, and we want to do energy channeling. I mentioned it yesterday that there are 3 areas. I like to put psychomotor first, but okay, let's go with cognitive, COG. With the cognitive, you know, domain of learning, this one has to speak with knowledge. It speaks about knowledge, what the child knows, the intelligence. You know, this is where I like to put critical thinking and problem solving. Every child is eligible to think critically of problems. And this, it is an innate function, they come with it. But you see, we stifle them. When you put a child in a playground, do you people watch these things on social media, where you see children at 19-story building, those children will open window, maybe their parents are not seeing, will come out and walk by the, you people don't see such videos, they will walk, some of them will turn and come back. Do you know that if the parent was there, they will not do that? They will come out, they will be able to move, come back, and they won't drop. There are videos like that on social media. But when we adults say, hey, this child is about to die. Do you understand? Put your child in a play area. They will climb, they will figure out how to come. A child can stand here and figure out how to come down without dropping. But when you are so mindful, you are stifling the child's creativity. Give the child a safe area. That is why when you're in the business of raising children, environment is critical. When you start from that beginning stage, create the enabler. Every child that is born deserves a playground. Play is a form of development. It's not to, see this cloth I wore you, you have dirtied the cloth. The cloth is supposed to be dirty, for God's sake, because the child will play. Allow the child free play and allow the child constructive play. So under cognitive, I like problem solving. In my house, when once you get to 9, when you come and meet me and you say, Mommy, there is no this, I say, what do you think about it? You have to think, Mommy, we are hungry. I say, okay, so what happens when you're hungry? We eat food. Okay, so what do you think? What are you going to have for dinner? Think about it. Talk to your sisters. Think about it. Good, you've come up. Mommy, we want potato and egg sauce. Okay, so how do they prepare potato and egg sauce? You do this, you do. Think about it. How do you put it together? You're trying to solve your problem. I'm not the one that said that she's hungry. Did I say I'm hungry? You're the one who is hungry. This is okay, what if mommy was not here? You're 10. Okay, I'm hungry. Is there soup in the freezer? You didn't think about it. What I expect my 10-year-old daughter to say to me is, Mommy, we are all hungry. There's soup in the freezer, so I've heat water to make eba or to make semovita. You are giving me the problem and you're giving me the solution. I'm not going to solve that problem for you. As a mother, I have put the soup in the freezer. So in my house, once you get to 10, you don't come to me and tell me you're hungry and expect me to stand up. I'm having my beauty sleep. I have ensured that there's soup. So mommy, I've done that, so we are done. We warm the soup. Could you please come and serve? To that degree, I can move. I'm not saying this for the 5-year-olds and the 6-year-olds. I'm saying this for the older people. Because one day mommy will not be around. The older ones will be with the younger ones, and we need to see to them. So the older ones and the younger ones will sit down together and be crying. That's leadership. Are we together? So under cognitive, give the children the room to solve problems, basic problems. Basic problems. Mommy, school is resuming. We have 5 pairs of socks. I think we need 6. So I think that this is what we should do, blah, blah. How do we solve this? That is the communication approach. Now, a child who is able to take responsibility for little things is preparing himself or herself to be responsible to solve bigger problems. You don't just become, you start from somewhere. So under cognitive development, I like to look at problem solving and critical thinking. If, children can be careless. Okay, let me use your water bottle. Some children, they hold this, then they just come and keep it here. If I see that kind of thing, I'll tell you that's a recipe for disaster. Why? Oh, it's at the brink, it's going to fall and it will break. So that means when you want to drop, consciously, you know that, take it away from the borders, right? Every single opportunity is a learning curve to teach a child. That's why I say parenting is consciousness. You are looking from all dimensions because you may not have the chance to teach that anymore. So you're looking at problem solving and critical thinking under the cognitive. And then because cognitive has to do with knowledge. So academics is not the only way to build your cognitive. Reading of other books. Problem solving. You give them little problems for the younger ones, keep them in play areas to solve their problems, to mix sand, to create mud. They have playtime, drinking fake tea. You see them cooking imaginary soup, allow them. That's the level, they're in the theta stage. Do you understand? And as they grow older, everything based on problem solving comes up. Because when they're in secondary school, when they get to the second stages of their life, they will face problems. They will see bullies. Other people's children who have not been raised properly will pick on your children. Do you know that? You think that child that you're holding like a baby, you don't want to touch the guy. They will go to secondary school, people will run and knock them. Yes! They will be bullied. They will come home, Mom, they want you to go and fight. Are we together? Allow the child to develop. One of the areas that will help them in the second stage, which is in the second circle of their lives, is the psychomotor, right? Psychomotor deals with the development of fine motor skills, your ability to use your body. Physical, psychomotor deals with physical activities, physical alertness. My son was so intelligent in school, but I noticed he was deficient in one area. If my son dresses up when he was 7, he will, or 8, 9, he will button his shirt. I noticed it was a consistent pattern. The shirt, it will never correspond. This side will be long, this side will be. One day I say, no matter how intelligent you are, when you come out looking like a bushman like this, there's a problem, my son, Patrick. I noticed it consistently. And I noticed that we were too fixated at the time that he should have good grades, that we ignored so many other areas in his life. 2020 COVID year, I took him and threw him into the tennis courts. Morning, evening, we were playing tennis. He was developing his fine motor skills. He was playing tennis. As I speak to you, if my son ever becomes a prefect, he will be the sports prefect because he even teaches the coach of tennis in their school tennis. He teaches the coach, and he goes to a very good private school. He was the only JSS1 boy who was playing with SS3 students. He plays good tennis. We played tennis for 1 year in 2020. My son can cook very well. The body is tough. He is, I don't worry about the boy because he's physically in shape. Your children should be in shape. All my daughters play sports too. They are sitting there. They all play tennis. Then one does gymnastics. The other one say basketball, but she ran away. She ran away. I could understand. I didn't chase her back because they don't have, in standard, they should give her a female coach. She wasn't comfortable with a male coach holding her from behind. So I could understand that. Right? Now, that comes to the part that when you have a child, one of the ways to develop the psychomotor is by sporting activities and gaming. It's not now that we are old, some of us cannot move our body. Psychomotor development needs you to be physically okay. Remember that all of this we are doing is for energy channeling. There's no child who is active in the psychomotor. Go and play sports. You're not going to follow your peers to go and rape anybody. Peer pressure cannot. A child who is psychomotor is active. By the time you play one game of tennis from beginning to end, you are enjoying it with reasonable people like you. You want to prove that you are a champion in tennis. You want to prove you're a champion in basketball. You want to prove that you're a champion in badminton because sports is competitive, gives you room to shine. You don't have time to go and follow nuisance and psychophants to go and be talking of stupid things. When you come back, you have a good bath, you eat and you're knocked off and you sleep off. Where you cannot afford some of the sports I've called, you can generate games in your house. In my house, everything is a potential for game. Everything in my house is for, even the drinking cup. This can be a game. Whoever gets it, and the children love it. It's working on their thinking faculty. It's working on their mentality and their ability to even solve problems. Even carrying a ball, if you don't have money, buy a ball. And do throwing and catching. If you have 2 children, they should throw and catch. The person who catches the most is the winner. It's not rocket science. But in throwing and catching, they are working on focus, accuracy, and their muscles, psychomotor development, and even cognitive is affected. Are we together? Now we go to affective. We go to the affective domain, which talks about morals and values, which teaches you of discipline, right? Talks about your discipline, your morals, your values. And I'm sorry, 1 second. I had mentioned yesterday under this psychomotor domain of learning. Of course, you know some of the superstars in this world that started sports from childhood. Kobe Bryant started at 3. Serena Williams started at 4. Rafael Nadal started at 3. Some of the biggest stars in this world started at 3 years old. In Nigeria, a 3-year-old child, the mother still dey tie am for back. He has one big water bottle, feeding bottle, sucking. Daddy precious, the milk don't finish. When his age mates are configuring themselves to become something great, my baby can eat very well. He just finished eba and draw soup. It doesn't mean at 3 years old the child is going to play perfectly. Put the child in the area. I never complete my games in tennis. I'm good at organizing tennis games. I can play it for fitness, but my children will play till the end, right? I was only privy to the knowledge, and I see that it is important that they finish it because for them, I'm an older person. I wish my mother knew some of the things I knew. Are we together? So the moment you are ready to have children, be sure that you will first and foremost build modules, little things around this. When is a good time Do not load your children, because after this lesson, those of you that have children, I didn't say go and kill them. I use holiday period to shape my children. The holiday is a good time. There's something they call mental fatigue or mental stress. When you stress a child too much, the brain may be tired, and you don't want them to snap up, so you must be considerate of all that, right? That may be another class for another day. So at the right time, the reason why it is a module is that you present these little packages, and as they grow through the years, they improve. If, for example, a game like tennis, if they can handle their racket well, for me, if my child can handle the racket well at age 5, I am okay. If you can return your balls across the net at another age, I'm okay. I'm not going to tell you play a perfect tennis game at 6. But as you keep building consistency, you keep building. By the time you are 15, 16, I have given you the gift of a good sport. Are we together? Now, that is for sports. Some people is football. My son plays tennis. One day he came and said, I've played tennis for you. I'm going to soccer. I'm going to football. I said, why not? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Now, we go to the affective domain. You know, see all of these things we are learning. We talk about mind engineering. We talk about being conscious. How many of us truly, we are very religious people. How many of us give our children the blessing of what we are learning? How many of us think that we can preserve, since maybe your mother was a deaconess in church, your father was a pastor, so you may find it strange to say, I don't know what is strange about it. You must teach your children the messages, teach them the power of the mind. If you think it, you can become it. Let them know. Today, if you've learned anything, I'm sure my own kids have learned that. How do you pray? What you imagine can be reality, can be achieved. That will be a take home for them today. Okay, so now we go to under affective. I like to tell people this. The state of your children's room is very important. Chores, you see chores? Chores, you're not doing it for me. It is you. I don't understand why my daughter's bed should not be tidy. As a girl child, your room is not in order and you're comfortable. You want to follow me out. You've dressed, you've worn fine dress, put lip gloss, and then I come and look at your room is a mess. Personally, I have a problem with that. Because your outward appearance and presentation should be commensurate with what is happening inside. Do you know, I tell my daughter, if she comes home with a funny score, I say, because you've not washed your clothes for 1 week. That's not how you'll be able to come home with a good, you're not paying attention to details. You are okay with having a pile of dirty clothes. So there's a problem. If you cannot pay attention to your laundry basket, how will you cross your T's and dot your I's? Because you think anything is okay. Because you think anything is okay. It is a reflection of who you want to become. So my kids know that before they followed me to come here, they ended to, the room has to be in order. I'm not going to shout, I will not hit you, but it is only people who are proper that must follow me. Because me, today before I came here, I washed my toilet and bathroom by myself. I don't tell them to wash by myself. I've given you a template, follow it. I'm happy that she could come and tell me and accept. Right? Puberty. The hormones are, I'm taking extra time to look at themselves. It is the emotive stage of life. Fantastic. But where the child doesn't have the discipline and the energy has not been appropriately channeled, abuse of that phase is inevitable. When you channel the energies properly, it will help you tide you over. A sportsman is a disciplined human being. A sportsman is a disciplined person. You're not playing sports for professional, but you see, you are thinking, look, critical thinking. And I told my daughter, ask yourself a question. Why am I crushing on this boy? Why? Answer the why. Is it because he's just good looking? Is he only good looking that makes you marry a man? Is that good enough? I'm teaching her something, no? Is he only good looking? But you see, that initial stage is that when you see somebody, there's an attraction. But to take it to the next step with somebody that has sense, you begin to ask questions. So why? Is it just because you've never spoken to him? You don't know his conduct? You don't know who he is? So why are you crushing on him? It's just because he appeals to your eyes. Is that good enough? No. You didn't tell me that you like him because he is very intelligent too. The boys that come first in class, they hardly have people crushing on them. It's the ones that look good with six-pack at that secondary school stage. The appealing ones, yes, the bad guys in the, they are the ones that have girls crushing on them. Those ones that are the nerds, they hardly have people crushing on them. Oh. It is time to teach your children to think critically before they make actions. Why do I have to do this? To what end? I crush on the boy after that, what next? Because when you're crushing, when your brain is through your emotions, the boy will say, escort me to this place. It's easy to escort him because you don't have sense. And when you escort him, anything can happen. But when you think, you are critically thinking, cognitive development. Tell your children, before you take an action, think about it. What are the possible? My younger sister, I advised her only 2 times when she entered university, when she was going to NYC. I said there's nothing like unwanted pregnancy. No unwanted pregnancy. The moment you feel that you're of age to begin to mingle with boys or with a man, there are some things that will accompany that activity. Pregnancy, HIV at the time was blooming, STDs, these are the possibilities, and you can have all of them with the man that you chose to be with. So use your head. You come back here with pregnancy, I will come and do omugwo. You come with HIV, I will give you pepper soup in the hospital. You have STD, you borrow money from me, you will buy antibiotics. So you have to think, why am I doing what I am doing? Why am I doing this at this time? So your children should have their sexuality education because they are human beings with age-appropriate language. When the class is too strong, tell them we graduate to the next stage. Every emotion doesn't need action. If the energy is, how many minutes do I have? I don't want to break my time. Okay, 6. Okay, if the emotion, if the energy is channeled, if alpha is being developed in his cognitive, in his psychomotor, and his affective domains, the tendency for him to derail is very, 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 very lean or very, very little. So develop a module along these 3, right? And your involvement is very essential. The nanny will not help you. Please, some of us, don't allow nannies and class teachers raise your children alone. Please, I beg you. If your child eats in a plate, they can wash the plate. Be part of the experience. Involvement is very essential. Open up communication channels. Make sure if your children cannot talk to you, there's a problem. If your children cannot talk to you and tell you there is a problem, your child go and tell your nanny she saw her first menstruation, there is a problem. Be a safe haven for your children. Be a role model. I've already said that. Okay? Another problem I noted, I said that so many parents live in denial. Please, when your children are young, take into consideration the health of their eye, their sight. Some children have eye problems, and then you hear parents say, God forbid, my pikin is too small. Don't try that rubbish. Please don't do that. Develop mantras. You know what a mantra is? Develop mantras for your children. Affirmations. We do it here. Affirmations. If you can affirm, your children can affirm. It leads them through a place of consciousness. I am great. I am beautiful. I am the future. I am a bloodline breaker. I am this. I am that. I put in the work. In my house, it's I am excellent, physically, education. You have to say it. It is different. Don't call Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Do the work. Now, when you have visions, maybe your children have visions. I want to do this, I want to do that. Now, the question you should ask, which is fundamental, is how? How are we going to do it? I want to become a fashion designer. Like one of my daughters won't allow me, I want to be the question is how? Learn to solve the hows. Their solutions may be elementary, but it will mean a lot. Okay? They should be involved in the process of shaping their lives. Enforce discipline and set boundaries. Now you see children are very manipulative. Oh. Very manipulative. Enforce discipline and set boundaries. I told you before, build a culture, build a standard in your home. They know that in this house, we will go to school. Oh. So whether I feel like it or not, except, I will not just wake up and say, my mom is on my case, I can't hide, I can't lie about school fees, I can't do this, I can't do that. Are we there? So within 0 to 9, do all of this. Where you fail in 0 to 9, once these children reach from 10 to 18, 10 to 18, it becomes a problem where you also have the logic and analysis stage, which is between ages 7 to 12, where they will ask questions, compare themselves with their classmates. This one is looking fine. Why is this one like this? This one is always neat. They will begin to seek for validation. Where there's no love, they will look for it outside. A small girl will follow a small boy. Love these children. Let them know that this is home. They should be happy to come home. They should look forward to something. Like my children look forward to playtime, even when I'm tired. Mommy, are we playing game this evening? Mommy, are we playing game this evening? Mommy, let's play game now. I'm like, I didn't know it's going to be this wild. But I love that they love it. And I love it for them. Right? So by the time they reach the emotive stage, where their emotions, where some of them become sexually active, some of them, because we like to lie to ourselves that our children, voila. Go and see what 14-year-old boys are doing. Do you understand? That is where there's peer pressure. Your sons begin to try alcohol. They begin to try drugs. I taught, look, you can ask them, they're here. I taught them about drug abuse when some of them were 7. And when you are ready, the universe is in alignment. One of those days we went to buy water. I parked the car by the road. So we took out the bottles to go to the supermarket. A young man came to me, he tattered. They were there. But the English he spoke is as if it's somebody who schooled abroad. I could tell that this is a product of drug. But he was not okay. He came to ask me for 50 naira, but he spoke so well. The moment he left, I told my children, remember that lesson we had about drug abuse? So when we have trained you in school, when you have learned everything, when you chose to indulge in drugs, you reduce to nothingness. You see that young man? You hear the way he says, "Spinking Americana." They must have brought him back because he has abused drugs. Maybe he went for school. I said, you will be walking on the road and begging for 200 naira to go and buy things to sniff. I said, is that what you want your life to be? They said, my son said, is that what it does? I said, that is the picture of drug abuse. What I just taught you, that is the consequence. Teach your children substance abuse. Let them know that these things are there. When you don't channel the energy properly, they are going to have time to do drug abuse. They are going to have time to do, to bow to peer pressure. They are going to have time to cave into their sexual urges. They are going to have time to be disheveled by all standards because there's energy and those are the options they can channel it. But as a parent, if you have channeled them, cognitive, psychomotor, and affective, you have helped to build a discipline that they can go through the stages of their lives, significantly and reasonably. Are we together? And then when they get to people like Mr. Femi's stage, where they become institutions, by their 36, 40, they become institutions. I hear him talk. He says, I read this book so and so time. I read this book so and so time. Every woman, if you're 10 in my house and you're a girl, you must read every woman because you have to know. I can't teach you everything. You will start reading every woman. You will know what is ovulation. Anyway, you ask me a question, I will help you. Are we together?
What do you mean, read every woman? Is it a book?
Oh yes, it's a book that talks about the reproductive health and the of a woman. Yes, that's what it means. And there's another one, Billings method. That one is when you reach like 15. Do you understand? So, channel the energies appropriately. Let your children be happy to be at home. And finally, I had said it before, screen time. Do you understand? Screen time. We live in this is my latest message, we live in a generation where we think that watching television, switching between devices has become everything. The children that we are raising now, some of them are recipes for disaster. Some of them don't even go to eat food. If you give them poison, because they are fixated on the screen, they will collect poison and swallow. They are dead to everything around them but the screen, which is not good. The body, yes, the screen addiction. Children, parents, you must regulate screen time on a serious note. Don't tell your child, watch for 1 hour. You can take their screens for 1 week. They won't die. Because you can play games, you can develop other things, build their appetite. Everything your child is going to become is for performance. And where they cannot perform, there's going to be a fundamental problem. May your children make you proud. Amen. May your children give you joy. Amen. May your children leave legacies that are long-lasting. Your children will not disappoint you. And you will have the capacity, knowledge, wisdom, insight to do the work as it is expected of you. In your old age, you will not run around. Your children will show you the love that you have taught them as well. Those are some of the things you should teach your children: to be kind. Teach your children how to love. Because one of the highest beneficiaries will be you as a parent. Okay? I hear Mr. Femi say he always goes home every December to see his mother. There are some children that don't know their parents' house anymore. You think I'm lying? Some children don't know the road to their parents' house, whether mommy or daddy is dying. It's neighbors and people around that help. May your children not forsake you in your old age. And the job is the job you do from the formative years to the stage of logic and analysis. That is between ages 0 to 9 and from 10 to 18. Put in the work and you'll be proud. Except there's any question, I think I've had my piece.